Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I gave myself a challenge, and I shared it with you. I didn't follow up with it last week, but I wanted to bring you up to speed on what's happened with regard to it. You remember the challenge was to look for people that you just don't normally see. They're invisible to you. And when you see them, see if you can't find a way to express gratitude to them. And so most of that week, my empowering question was each day, can I see somebody today I don't normally see? And if so, can I express gratitude to them for what they're doing? Well, I had numerous experiences throughout the week. Some days I kind of forgot about it and didn't really see anything and wasn't in a place to see it. Other days there were more. But I have to say, one thing that happened was I for sure got to see it when I got stuck for 3 hours on the tarmac on a small airplane waiting for the weather to clear. I got to meet lots of people I wouldn't normally see, and that's the ones that were on the plane with me. But around that whole story, there were some other things that happened. Here's an insight that happened to me, something I totally did not expect. However, if I hadn't been looking for people that I don't normally see, I would not have seen this. I was in the Sky Club. This is in the Delta airport. And I happened to looking around, and I see a lady that's serving. She's picking up people's trash and their drink glasses and plates from where they've been just sitting around. And she's just doing a good job picking it up. But normally I wouldn't even see her. So I was intent on maybe saying something to her, but then a gentleman across from me said to her, "Thank you so much for doing this. It really makes a difference. And how are you doing today?" And she smiled really big, and she stood there and she says, "I'm doing great. Thank you, sir. Have a happy, happy holiday season." And off she went. And I knew she was impacted in that moment, but I felt so motivated. I felt motivated to move across and sit next to this gentleman and say to him, "Thank you. I just have to tell you thank you. I watched what you said to that lady, and I don't know if you do it all the time, but you made her day. And that made me feel good. You made my day by being able to see you do that." Now, here's what I've discovered. Once that happened, I asked myself the question, how many people do I don't see that are doing things for people and with people that I wouldn't normally see? And as I started to look around, instead of having that attitude of, wow, we need to pay more attention to the people we can't see, we need to pay more attention to other people, I all of a sudden saw it happen over and over and over again. See, sometimes what you see and don't see, when I'm sitting here talking to you about things that we should do, I'm really talking to myself. And so because I don't all the time do it, I just assume that everybody else doesn't do it. But watch this time as you go around, put a question in your mind. As you go around, you'll start to see things that you don't normally see. And I was so pleased to see how many people are reaching out to other people and expressing gratitude. There's more of that than we give ourselves credit for. So I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to be looking for the invisible, because by looking for the invisible, I was able to see other things than what I had originally intended to see. So may I re-up that challenge? And I'm going to go back to something we've talked about a couple of times before, and that's the word potent. And this week I'm going to start thinking about things that fit with the potent. And the first letter of potent is P, which is people. I'm going to continue with where are those people that I don't normally see? And I'm going to try to reach out to them and express gratitude, especially this time of the season, to put joy into their lives. But I'm also going to look for opportunities. Each day I'm writing down the word potent, and I'm going to look for opportunities that I normally just take for granted. Maybe it's just driving in my car on a crowded freeway. How many millions of people would trade places with me in that second to be in that car, driving on that freeway, going to a great job in a great country? Thousands, so many opportunities that we don't see. I'm going to look for things that I have that I'm so grateful for, not the things that I'm, like around Christmas, our presents and everything. What are some of the other little things that we're grateful for? Maybe it's just a pair of shoes. Maybe it's just, once you open up your eyes, you will start to see so much more. The experiences, so the E is for experiences. What experiences am I able to have in this world? Think about it, just flying from one place to another. What an amazing experience. Experience talking to people, interacting with people. And then, of course, nature. This beautiful world in which we live in. We don't have to wait for the rainbow to enjoy the rain. And then the final one is my favorite, and that's thoughts. So I'm putting potent down each day. I am the master of my own thoughts. I'm grateful for that agency and that freedom I have to have my own thoughts that nobody else can take from me. So again, potent, people, opportunities, things, experiences, nature, thoughts. Let's open up our eyes. Let's open up and by that we do it with our thoughts. Our thoughts connect with our eyes and our ears. Our eyes and ears only see what our thoughts or our brain tells them to see. Enjoy this season and joy. Let's see if we can't find lasting joy from doing a little bit of these experiences. Have a very wonderful holiday season. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.